All right, we're on the record. I've delivered. You asked for Mr. Lau, you get Mr. Lau. You understand? This is Mr. Lau night. Hope everybody's doing good. I know everybody's ready for the weekend. And yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. This is what everybody asked for. Yes, I appreciate that, Mel. Hit the like button as you come in, or however you do it. Just hit the like button for me, okay? Because I made a promise and I came through. That's how the trust do. We make sure we take care of the people in the trust. So yeah, we just gonna hold on. We're gonna get this thing started. Give me 1 second here. Mr. Lau. Sure, this is gonna be entertaining. Oh, I'm getting demands. Okay. All right, it's coming. All right. All right. Well, I'm not gonna hold y'all up. This is what you want. Here you go. You can have it. Let's have fun. Let's go.
I've got one more parking issue, and then we'll call up. And this may take a couple of minutes, so we don't have Ms. Talene back, so I think we're okay.
She's meeting with Mr. Reynolds.
Okay, great. So let's call Michael Lau. Mr. Lau, if you'll come forward.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Lau.
I'm Michael Lau.
Thank you. Let me go ahead and
We know who you are.
pull up what I have here. I want to talk about whichever one did one of your vehicles get towed? Do I have that right? There's a vehicle.
A vehicle got towed today, Your Honor.
And which one was it? What license plate was that one? Do you know?
I do not know.
Okay. Have you
Your
retrieved
Honor,
it yet?
May I provide a little bit of background and context first, Your
Yeah,
Honor?
before you do, but I just want to be able to pull up I want to look at whatever one's been towed first, and so I can go with that. So if you can tell me the license plate, because it's not showing an impound fee yet. So
Yeah, it's there. It's unlicensed, temporary license plate number
498590.
638 6618.
6386618. All right, let's pull that one up first.
That's the Ford F-150, right?
It doesn't.
Okay.
I don't.
I'm going to pull it and see what it says on it, what I have for it. Yes, that is the Ford pickup 1996.
Yes.
And that one had a number of different tickets that had been issued on it. Let me look them over. Camper RV trailer parking prohibited, 2 of those, and then over 72 hours. So 2 separate citations for August 5th. And then August 7th, there was another one of those camper tickets that was issued. Then there was a vehicle in yard ticket on August 16th, a vehicle in yard ticket on August 19th. Then it went on the tow list on September 19th. And then October 11th, there was a valid registration charge and a camper RV trailer parking charge. So there were a number of tickets that were issued, and it does show that it was towed today. And there was a tow fee added of $50. So that's on that one, there's a current balance. I believe it's $455 if my math is correct. It's $405 plus the $50 impound fee. So it's easier for me to address these tickets or these cases with one vehicle at a time. And my purpose with the one that's towed is the one that's most crucial for me, because that's the one that's sitting in the impound lot. Have you paid to get it released yet or not?
No, Your Honor.
It's currently impounded.
It's been towed away, yes.
Okay.
And I've only been aware of it today.
Okay.
Your Honor, I am only unable to have finished compiling it because I received all these just today. Your Honor, if I may back up a little bit first.
Sure.
This is my first time in traffic court, Your Honor. Previously, I've been in this courtroom on 2 separate occasions. July 16th and earlier this week on Tuesday. On both instances, I only appear as a support person for a defendant on code enforcement trash accumulation violation.
Right, I think I saw you in the courtroom with Ms. Lacompte, is that correct?
Yes,
Lacompte.
thank you, Your Honor. And thank you, Your Honor. Memory is amazing because, Your Honor, you even addressed that you understand that there are certain traffic issues and you actually advise during court that that traffic court is at 1:30 today.
Yeah, for parking, but yes, you're
yes,
right.
Deputy City Attorney has already advised me during the pre-trial conference that it's this Friday, next Friday, and then maybe a skip. So thank you, Your Honor. So that is why I am here. But on my way here, I receive all these as well as one vehicle's been towed. I have tried in a diligent way, in a very responsible way to address this. When I was here on June 16th, while I was in court, parking issued me more tickets. I actually filed a motion to have these dismissed. Unfortunately, due to my lack of legal understanding, while I thought I have standing, I am the person doing the physical work, both in the trash accumulation to block the evictees from doing further damage.
I read that motion.
Yes,
But you
so-
filed that in Ms. Lacompte's
Yes,
code enforcement
so-
case, right?
Yes, so I am the one who actually truly created the so-called mess. And I take full responsibility for that. And I've stated in my earlier motion, prior to this Tuesday's hearing, the week before, Ms. Lacompte submitted a motion for the dismissal of the code enforcement, for the dismissal of the tickets, and also for sanction of parking. I have tried my very best to follow all the rules. The vehicles are there to load up the stuff because I have made personally and legally my commitment to the city attorney's office during the July 16th pretrial conference. But I kept receiving tickets, warnings, citations, so forth on an ongoing basis. I receive more than one a day when Boulder Parking only works 5 days a week, which is amazing. And I was told by the PMO, Parking Management Officer, whatever it is, that I need to address Leo Pelly, who is a supervisor, because they have noticed in their system that certain tickets been voided by their office. When I wrote to Mr. Pelly, there was no response. And then the parking people kept coming, continue to issue more citations, but they told me I can actually apply with the city manager to get overnight parking permit, which I did. And I received, of course, I emailed the city manager's office, and I received very promptly from another supervisor in Boulder Parking that that has been granted because the advice of the city attorney's office and so forth, that has been granted. Yet, even with that, I kept receiving parking citations and fines and so forth. And I received further updated immediate boot toll issued by, and I never received the one on the F-150 that was towed today. But and I have submitted these both in the motions, in Margaret Lacompte's motion, and actually I brought the most recent one with me to show to, is it Mr. Daniels?
Mr. Reynolds, the prosecutor?
My apology with the name. the deputy city attorney. So I have truly tried to address all these, and especially when I receive approval from the city manager via border parking, why would I still be receiving all these? And on top of that, today, on my way here, I was notified that I have been being ticketed and the vehicle being towed. Unfortunately, I did not get back in time. However, once again, this border parking initiated towing today is not the first time.
That's a good point. Where's she at? And somebody else asked about I think it was Eagle. Witness tampering. I don't know anything about that because that sentencing hearing, Margie threw him under the bus. Now, I think they planned that little thing that they did because all of a sudden she said he put all the stuff in front of her house, all that good stuff.
They have initiated towing of one of the trailer that is being used to remove the equipment and so-called trash when 6 PMOs and 2 tow truck drivers showed up one morning. This was in a motion that was filed earlier. So all these can easily be verified. And the reason why I have not made additional attempt to remove a little camper that is sitting on the back of this F-150 is because when I was loading it onto the truck, so I can actually load more stuff to move it away from 290 Pawnee to somebody filed a false complaint against me with Boulder Police. 2 police officers and a police sergeant showed up, lights flashing, blocking the intersection, body cam on, order me to stop. This I have submitted Ms. Lacompte has submitted as a motion earlier. It's only because of the guilty plea. Your Honor said that makes that moot. However,
it doesn't apply to this specific, to the parking cases. That's all.
I have in my life.
But let me just stop you for a moment. Let me make sure you understand. The work that's being done on 290 Pawnee, whether it's you or Ms. Lacompte or whomever it might be, that work is part of that case, that criminal case that she has. These parking citations are issued for vehicles that are parked on the street. They may be being used by you to help deal with the issues that are at 290 Pawnee, but they come under our parking ordinances. So they're not related in the sense that I can't rule on them as part of her case. That's not something I can do. And that's what I was trying to express the last time she was in court and knowing you were here.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So here's what I suggest that we do, because you're obviously making your argument. The prosecutors aren't here and the parking services people aren't here to say, hey, this is what all of our cases, why they're legitimate. I have to be independent. I have to be in between and say, okay, we've got parking services over here and the prosecutor over here and Mr. Lau over here saying he thinks he has a legal right to park all those vehicles, and you're saying he doesn't have a legal right to park those vehicles the way he did. Now, when I negotiate with people, I try to give a little bit of relief so people can get their vehicle out of the tow yard. That's why I focus on the tow one. But I'm not really resolving those arguments from both sides that I might hear if there were a trial. I'm not doing that today because they're not here to argue their side. And in fairness, both sides have to be able to be heard, right?
I understand.
So here's what I suggest that we do. Let's focus today on the one that's been towed, because that's sitting up at the tow yard, and every day that it's there are more fees that they're going to charge you to get it out. So we got to focus on getting that vehicle out, number one, and then we have to focus on how you're going to get all these tickets resolved, number two. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes, Your Honor, but what is the purpose and the meaning of the city manager's permit for overnight parking That is in an audience and so forth.
Greg, do you have a copy of that
I do
email
not.
that was sent? I
Oh,
think it was, remember the email there was an email that was Mark Wolf, the deputy city manager, sent an email about a parking permit.
Let me see if I can find it. It was pretty vague.
It was pretty vague, but that's why I probably won't be able to resolve it on it, but I think it said it was only for 30 days, and so it may have expired anyway. I haven't seen the.
Supervisor has kept extending it each time that there was a new.
That could be part of your argument, right? Is that I'm not liable for these because the city manager gave me a permit and the permit was present on my vehicle. I don't have that information in front of me. And so just you saying, hey, I had a right to be there doesn't mean that I can take that as the gospel.
I understand, Your Honor. I have email verification on that from the parking supervisor.
So let's do this because it will, I can tell you right now that there's no way that I can simply just start dismissing all these tickets and give you the satisfaction that you want without giving the prosecutor an opportunity with the parking services people to be here. And so what I think we ought to do is schedule this for a hearing when you can be present.
Oh, hold up a second. Oh, Eagle, okay. All right, I got you. I forgot all about that. Thanks for clearing that up.
And the prosecutor and parking services, including Leo Pell, if he wants to be here, they can be here to present their side of things in an actual hearing on all these issues.
I am very receptive to that, Your Honor. But what happens in between?
Well, that's why I want to address the vehicle that's been towed, because that's the one you got to get out.
But Your Honor.
So here's what I've got from an email that was sent to you and to Ms. Lacompte, and it comes from Parking Services.
Margaret, yes.
It doesn't say specifically, but it says, we have been notified by the city attorney's office of your permit request for your trailer. We have accommodated the request with a permit that will expire on Tuesday, September 10th. Please display this permit at all times on your trailer. This is an administrative permit that is being issued with the expectation that the property of 290 Pawnee will be brought into compliance with Boulder Revised Code. So that was August 13th. So from August 13th to September 10th with respect to a trailer, but it doesn't apply. I don't know what trailer it applies to or what vehicles it applies to. That's all the information I have.
Your Honor, may I submit confirmation from Margaret that it's been approved until extended to October 8th?
Well, you can bring that forward. I'll take a quick look at it.
Your Honor.
Okay. And this is from Ms. Bygum, I think it's Parking Service.
Sorry, yeah.
The extension request has been approved to October 8th. There's not much more to that. Okay, so what I would have you do is hang on.
There is about 10 various emails in this email track with her.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's
all documented, of course.
Yeah. So did you go and pick up that permit? Because it says the permit can be picked up at the Community Vitality Office at 15th and Pearl. Please schedule an appointment so that we can have the permit ready. Did you ever go pick it up?
No, I did not, because parking was towing my vehicle each time they know I'm not around.
Well, so it's really important that you have that permit because if, as you can imagine, just because there's over 1,000 people that work for the city, they don't all know what one person might have emailed to.
I have a abbreviated version of the email attached to the trailer. And that is why until this Tuesday, I did not receive additional parking.
But that might explain why.
Yet today, they decided that they can jump and beat the court in issuing me this massive amount.
That may be why they kept issuing tickets though, because there was no permit on the vehicle. Simply having an email from a staff member isn't a permit. The email said, come get the permit. We'll give you a permit. But you got to get that and put it on your vehicle. Otherwise, parking officers, they're not communicating with Ms. Bigum. They're not keeping track of every car that every citizen in this community owns. They're looking for permits. They're looking for people complying with the rules. And if there's a permit, then they can look at it. But that's why that's why Ms. Bigum said, come to our office, pick up the permit. We'll give you the permit that you can use. So if you don't have that, you should expect to get tickets. Now that doesn't mean I have to hold you accountable for that, but I can't simply just say that they did wrong. you have to understand, they're looking for the permits. You have to comply with the rules that the city sets up, which is we're going to give you a permit. You got to put it on your vehicle.
The judge sound like he's more aggressive with Mr. Lau right off the bat. Hold up, I gotta go back. Longwell, thanks for coming through. Yeah, Mr. Lau, he's here. And we're checking him out. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. I appreciate it.
And that's only one of these vehicles. There's a lot of other vehicles with tickets on it.
Your Honor, yes, that was the first email when I said, about going down there, making appointments.
Let's do this, because I've got,
Yes.
Ms. Talene, are you ready on your
Picking up
case?
the court's time.
I am, but I think it might take a minute.
So are you okay with me keeping the conversation here?
Well, I will let you know I have to be upstairs at 3
So
for
let's
something.
call your case up, because Mr. Lau is it seems like this is gonna take a little while, but I think ultimately we're gonna have to set Mr. Lau's case over for hearing. But let's go ahead and call that case, Mr. Lau, because I want to get Ms. Talene out while we have this long conversation.
Shout back out to you. All right. Scary stories to tell your children. That sounds like an interesting one right there.
Parking situations are usually take 5 minutes, but this one's not. So let's get.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Parking initiated this again today.
Okay, let's go ahead and call Mr. Reynolds. While I've got you here, I don't know how much of the conversation you were hearing that I was having with Mr. Lau.
I did. I was overhearing it, Your Honor.
Mr. Lau, why don't you come on forward? This is a very complicated parking situation for Mr. Lau. One of the vehicles has been towed, and so I was inclined to address that issue with Mr. Lau so that if possible, we can work something out so that he can get his vehicle back. But I also wanted to get your impression as to whether it would make sense to schedule a hearing for parking services. He has a number of cases that are pending. It may make more sense to have a status conference type hearing rather than an actual trial scheduled, so that your office could be here along with someone from parking services who has a good grasp of all of the issues that are there. And then there can perhaps be a discussion that doesn't involve a trial, because otherwise I think we'd be scheduling a lot of trials on a lot of different parking cases. But I wanted to get some feedback for you, because I'm just trying to think of what might be the best way for all concerned here.
I'm not opposed to like a dispo setting where I would bring somebody with knowledge of the case from parking here or to the court. But I do think that if the parties consent, we can put everything into one case. I don't think we need to set a whole bunch of different trials if the parties, specifically if Mr. Lau is okay with that.
That's what I was thinking that we might do as far as the long range resolution of this, is to allow you to have him somewhere with parking services, Mr. Lau, you all can have a conversation. And then if there's a way to work out some type of resolution on the case or the cases, then that could be worked out with everybody involved. And then you could just present it to the court. And if the parties weren't able to reach a resolution, then we could go into that process of deciding whether to set trials on these parking issues. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. The ordinal good evening. That's a family member, y'all. So I got to make sure I say something. If not, they give me after the stream.
It does. It does.
My reluctance to simply resolve all of these different tickets that are part of these various vehicles. I can't do that without parking services having the opportunity to present their side of the case. And so I think the best way to do it is to have them here. You and Mr. Reynolds can have a conversation with them present, and you could, without me listening, and you all can see if you can work out an agreement.
I am in absolute agreement that the parking side definitely should state the case. Your Honor, as I have already stated, that I've tried to address this earlier this week. I tried to have this addressed even back in August and so forth. And of course, Your Honor, once again, you stated that today is traffic court. And of course, but I am at the mercy of an onslaught by parking and additional citation, additional warning, additional fines, and a vehicle being towed.
Well, that's his fault. The Ordinal, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Also, Rita should be in there. I'm just letting y'all know, especially the moderators. That's another family member. So I can't forget because they'll come and get me. And thank you, Brecken, for putting it out. If you're in here, give it a thumbs up. If you like what's going on with Mr. Lau and everything that's happening here, I would greatly appreciate it.
What happens in between the duration where we have hopefully a successful discussion and conference with parking? Because Monday, 5 more vehicles could disappear, or whatever. And yes, Your Honor, while I really appreciate you trying to address the one that has already been told, there has been other ones that they have tried to tow earlier, and all these are being stacked up, even with the city manager's approval of the overnight parking. While I am not knowledgeable enough to slice and dice whether the city manager's approval is for this minute aspect or whatever, Your Honor, I am just trying to address because I tried to address on Tuesday. So, and you said be here on Friday, and I'm here. So, and of course, that thing already has happened to me. So I need to know what will happen. Will you simply instruct parking to not tow anymore until we have this conference, and whatever's been told to keep it even in the impound, but no escalating charges until we have a chance to address this? Because I cannot be fighting one vehicle while there is 11, 12 staff members in parking that does not address downtown. And as you can see, they definitely have lots of bandwidth to circle my area and to ticket me while I'm on my way to court today, Your Honor.
Right. There's at least 7 vehicles that I'm seeing that are subject to having to sit.
I did not get.
I wonder if it was that Dodge Charger that was in Margie's yard, the one that was sitting in there. It was one day it wasn't there, and the next day it was there. I wonder if he has that. Maybe it'll come up in one of these hearings. We'll get to find out what vehicle it was. I don't know.
I did not get. I only have what I have submitted to.
Let me suggest to Mr. Reynolds what I think is a fair way to move forward for today, which is for you and I to have a discussion about the one vehicle that's been towed, because the people who have towed the vehicle, Marv's Towing.
Yes.
I do have no jurisdiction to stop them from increasing your fees on the daily fee for that vehicle remaining in their tow yard. So when I have people here, I'm hoping to be able to get their vehicle out of the impound so that they don't have any more fees. So I want to focus on that one with you to figure out how we're going to get that one out of impound, because otherwise it can continue to increase fees up there. And I'm trying to limit those for you. I can put orders into these other cases and say, do not tow until, as long as it's a really short period of time between today and when we have the next court date that you come. And then that will allow parking services to hold off on towing those vehicles that I have here in my system. I don't know what else they've put on those. If there's a vehicle that's been noticed with a notice on it that says, you must move this vehicle within 72 hours or it'll be towed, I don't know that that's in my system. I can't control that. So,
Your Honor,
let's go ahead.
I apologize for interrupting. Thinking about this case, I don't, getting the current vehicle out of impound is, I don't have any sort of position on that. Hopefully it can get out of impound, but it might make sense if Mr. Lau chose to do so, to file an appeal of the vehicle impound, because then we have a time requirement to get him a hearing, and that would force parking to come to the court to discuss whatever the situation is for that vehicle. But I do think that perhaps a more global resolution of all the issues might be able to get attained then. But from that is what I was thinking about in terms of a way to swiftly resolve things, address the vehicle that just got impounded, and then also have parking services comply with the code by getting people here who know what his situation is to testify before the court about the propriety of the vehicle they got towed. But then as well, we could probably do, we might be able to come to a global resolution of all of the different parking issues at that time. That, you know, that possibility exists. So, and I would think that we might want to schedule, if that's what Mr. Lau wants to do, and that's what the court wants to do, that would be my suggestion, and then maybe scheduling just a little bit more time than we might normally for a vehicle impound hearing.
I like that suggestion, Mr. Reynolds. The only problem with that, that suggestion is if we schedule the hearing and the vehicle remains impounded, there's some additional fees. So perhaps we need to have a conversation about how we would deal with that vehicle. And since I have you here, I think I wouldn't mind you being present while I have the discussion with Mr. Lau about that.
But getting the vehicle out of impound, isn't that's Mr. Lau has to work with Marbs to do that, right?
Well, he has to get a release from us. He has to get a release, and he owes $455 to the court. Technically, he has a $455 balance that would have to be paid before we would give a release of impound, or he has to simply go up to Marv's and pay the $455 plus whatever they want. That's how they would release it. If we were closed and he went up there on a Friday night, he would have to pay them the full balance. And am I correct on that, Greg? Right? So when people come to the court, sometimes we can give them some relief so that they can go up to get it out of impound, and then we can address it. And it may be that I can fashion something here. I'm kind of thinking this through. This is very unique for us. I haven't had this come up with this many tickets and this many cases.
It's never happened to me.
It's never happened to in my 22 years on the bench that we've had this much going on with one vehicle owner. But what I think I could do is work with the defendant right now to figure out what would be a reasonable way to resolve this particular impound today, with still preserving the right to have the impound hearing. There could be some amount paid today that I could give a release of impound subject to the upcoming hearing, and that would keep the fees from increasing, and then we could have those issues resolved at the hearing. Does that make sense to you, Mr. Reynolds? I'll ask first.
Well, you see the poll in the chat, and I can't believe that 81% of you said no to Mr. Lau. I can't believe it. I can't believe y'all would not help out Mr. Lau. I'm gonna get it for this one on the.
It makes sense. Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lau, let's talk about it. So you've got, I'm just talking about that one vehicle. It was the Ford, the one that's been towed. It has citations that were issued beginning August 5th and all the way through October 11th. Today.
Yes, today.
Today, yeah. That has a balance of $455. What I would be inclined to do is, with those first two citations that were issued, which amount to $100, if you paid those two citations, I would give you a release of impound. If it turns out at a later time that there has to be a refund of those two that were paid, then we could work that out, depending on how the case is resolved. Because I don't know how it's going to be resolved after a hearing, whether or not it'll be found that those were appropriate. But in fairness to the folks who impounded your vehicle, the folks from parking services, and so that I can justify why I'm simply releasing a vehicle from impound that has a balance of $405 on it, I would have you pay $100 today, and then we would schedule this for hearing on your written motion to challenge the validity of the impound. Does that make sense?
I understand what you are suggesting, Your Honor.
Can you pay $100 today?
The fact that I've been truly trying to have this addressed, and they only have the benefit of beating me and Your Honor, you, the court, in having it towed. So the court, of course, the city, the court reserves, of course, has the ability to charge me whatever the.
Let's be clear.
fines.
Yeah, well, hold on. Yeah, let's be clear. Admiral Mary Time, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships that you gave away to the people that are in here who I know will be so happy to receive them. Thank you. Really appreciate that. And somebody, I had to answer something for somebody. Oh, yes. Yeah, more of this to come. This was last year, so we had to get caught up. And it was one more. Oh, I said, no, you can't make me. I like to know how many bonnets are in the chat tonight. I like your bonnet. All right, let's go back to Mr. Lau.
Let's be clear.
I have a zero amount and have it released because I am still
not gonna do that.
still at the mercy.
I'm not going to make it zero.
Not only but for that one vehicle, but for additional vehicles.
But let's be clear. There were 7 tickets issued between August 5th and October 11th. And on September 19th, in addition, we had multiple letters that were sent to you saying you were going on the tow list. And you did not appear in court to contest any of these. Filing a motion in Ms. Lacompte's case was not contesting tickets in a parking case.
Wow. That's crazy. Well, maybe he didn't know. He thought that since he took pictures for it, that the judge would help him out with that while he was working with her. But Eagle, thank you. Thank you. Oh, donating to the Michael Lau Defense Fund. I'm sure he'll be happy about that. But no, I appreciate what you did. Thank you very much.
I understand.
So
I was advised by city attorney's office that yes, I have to address those separately.
yeah, you can't just file a motion in someone else's case and say that's my defense. That
Once
doesn't
again,
work.
My apologies.
So
not understanding.
So I want to be real clear with you. I'm bending over backwards to give you the opportunity to get that vehicle out of impound and have your day to hear have this heard so that we can get these issues addressed. But I'm not going to do it without you paying the $100 that I've suggested. So if you can pay $100, I'll give you a release of
$100
stuff.
is based on which day, Your Honor?
August 5th of 2024, a camper charge of which was camper RV trailer parking prohibited and an over 72 hours prohibited charge, 2 separate charges adding up to $100. If you pay those today, you'll still be able to contest them, but I'm going to have you pay that in order to get your vehicle released from impound. And then we're going to give you a hearing on all of it. Our ordinance does not require that I do anything except say pay the full balance. So I'm offering you something that you would not be ordinarily legally entitled to.
He's looking out for him. I don't know if he's just tired of them too or what. But also he probably knows that if he doesn't do anything to try to give him room to escape some of this stuff, it's just gonna keep happening. So maybe he's just trying something different to see if he will do what he needs to do, but we know the answer to that.
Your vehicle's been towed. It's got a $405 balance sitting on it. The only way it comes out of the tow yard is if you pay that balance plus the fees you owe to Marv's for it being towed. That's the only way.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand that. Those, I'm sure the letters were sent to my legal address in Clear Creek County, in Dumont, Colorado,
Okay.
Clear Creek County. So no, Your Honor, I did not receive those.
It doesn't matter whether you
Yes,
receive
I
them.
understand that.
Got it.
Yeah. I simply have been dealing with, of course, the other case and so forth, and I simply do not have the financial means to even accept the court's offer at this very moment.
Okay, then I can't do anything as far as releasing the vehicle. It will sit. Now, you can still schedule a hearing and challenge the validity of the impound. So that's what I'm gonna have Greg do is have him schedule a hearing on that particular vehicle. And then I'm gonna put some notes in the other files. So can you print out him one of those vehicle impound hearing requests? We're gonna have you fill that out. And remind me, Greg, is that within 3 business days, 5 business days that we have to give a hearing?
5 business days unless he waives it.
Okay. So we're gonna try to schedule a hearing within 5 business days.
So by completing this form, it is the equivalent of me filing an appeal with that
On that-
today?
On that vehicle.
Okay. Okay, so I can.
So go ahead and why don't you take a moment and fill that out?
Okay.
But
Okay, yeah, thanks for that info. That's right. That's right. We have a long way to go.
we'll do that next. I'm gonna have you fill it out. I'm gonna assume you're gonna fill it out. Let's
Yes.
get it, let's figure out if we're gonna do 5 business days, which is basically by next Friday. Let's take a look and see what, and I wanna do it as far off as we can, with still having some time to actually do it. Let me look at our schedule.
Are you looking at hearings dockets or?
Let's just take a look at the calendar and figure it out what we've got. So we got the,
Your Honor, may I suggest timing wise, because we have this to deal with, I will be more than happy to waive the 5 days requirement because we have the other ones to have to deal with too. So unless Your Honor would like to see me back in court once a week for the next many weeks.
No. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pick a time if we can, and I may have, if you're willing to waive, I may have to do that. But let's keep in mind a couple things. Marv's is gonna charge you a daily fee. Is it $20 a day?
I have no idea but it's every 24 hours.
Every 24 hours that vehicle sits up there, until you get it released from there, you're gonna have to pay them a fee. I can't waive that fee. That fee is up there. You're gonna pay that no matter what. Right now, it's $20 because it's only been today. That's why I was trying to get you to see if you could come up with $100 now to pay me, so I can give a release of impound and Marv's can get you out of there, because otherwise, $20 for Saturday, $20 for Sunday, $20 for Monday, it's gonna add up on you. Marv's isn't under my jurisdiction. I don't get to tell them, release it to them and don't charge them the fee for it sitting in your yard. That's not in my control.
Mr. Lau make it seem like the way he said, well, I'm gonna be here every day, basically like I'm gonna get on your nerves if you don't do it. Like he reversed it on him.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand that parking is the one who called Marv to have it towed because, yes, based on that, all those paperwork.
It could be at some point that you get reimbursed.
May I try to address and with your gracious offer to have the tow vehicle released today by paying a $20 fine to deal with that, because that will still allow us to actually be able to deal with not only that specific vehicle, but once again, the additional things that we definitely need to hear from parking.
I'm not in a position to do that. I'm just not. I'm sorry. I can't, not given how much is here. I just can't do that. I'm already going to be putting do not tow notices in for all those other vehicles.
Yes, I understand that.
And that's something that I'm doing as an olive branch to you, only to get it to a point where we have the prosecutor and the parking services all here at the same time. So I'm not going to be in a position where I say, just give us $20 and then go up and pay Marv. I'm just not going to do that. So if you can come up with $100, great.
I do not have that with me prior to the window being closed today. So it's beyond a financial hardship at this very moment. I don't get me wrong, Your Honor. I definitely appreciate that. It's just that I definitely also want to offer counter and offer my goodwill payment to address this, so we can deal with the bigger picture, bigger issue with both the parking and so forth.
See, but I think you're underestimating what you think is a good faith payment that the court's comfortable with. You've got over $1,300, maybe $1,400 worth of parking citations for all of these tickets. And so there, for a good faith, ordinarily, I require people pay either the full balance that's owed or as little as half the balance, which is $200 on this one vehicle that's been towed. But I also don't go that extra step of saying, don't tow all these other vehicles as well. I'm doing a lot on your behalf. I'm just not in a position to do more because I have to explain myself to the folks at Parking Services and say, you guys sent staff over there. You've been delaying and delaying and delaying because someone from the city manager's office may have suggested that you delay. And in the meantime, you're not fulfilling what is your responsibility to the community, which is to enforce parking violations. And now Judge Kahn's going to say, yeah, you towed it, and I'm going to have this person pay $20, and that's going to be enough till we'll hold the case off for another couple of weeks. I'm not willing to do that. Just not willing to.
I am still liable to the court. I'm still liable to the city, even with the $20 or whatever, as you have already stated earlier.
I'm not willing to do it. So if you want to let it sit there, it'll accrue additional fees, but I'm just not willing to do that.
Does the city attorney's office has additional insight that I can actually comprehend and hopefully deal with as well?
Mr. Reynolds, anything else you want to add?
I don't take any position on the court's determination on what it would take to get this vehicle out of impound. I think the court is being more than reasonable with Mr. Lau, given all of the tickets that haven't been addressed so far. So that's all I have.
And there is another option for you, which is to request an impound hearing. We'll get you a hearing as soon as we can. And in the meantime, you will have fees that will accrue at Marv's, so understanding that that's going to and I don't know if I'm correct in quoting $20 a day or not, but
It'll most likely be much more than that, Your Honor.
And so that's why I want to try to help you, but you've got to figure out a way to do it. If you can't secure the ability to pay $100 today, then I can't do anything. Maybe by Monday you'll be able to, and then we can get you released on Monday. But I can't do anything more.
Additional several days of.
That's right. You've got unfortunately it's a weekend, so that's unfortunate.
Payment by today is what time, Your Honor?
What time we stop taking payments, Greg?
About 4:25.
4:25.
So we're about an hour or so from that point.
Yep.
Thank you, Your Honor. I accept the court's just and gracious offer. Of course, my understanding is that the court will have issued a no toll until we have an opportunity.
Yes. Yeah. That will.
Parties involved.
That's what I would like to get us so that we can get resolution on these issues in an expeditious way.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. So let's have you fill that out for Greg, and then actually. Let's backtrack from them. Now that we know where we're going, let's just see if we can find some time for this hearing. We've got to do it within 5 business days, which puts us.
I am willing to waive that.
And you're willing, once you have the vehicle out, but I also want it to happen relatively quickly because if I do a do not tow order, I've got members of the community who are wondering why are these vehicles not being towed, who are in violation. I've got Parking Services. So it won't be very long, even if it's, and so I'd rather do it in the 5 days, but if you can't do it in there, you want to waive and you want to look to the following week, I'd be willing to do it the following week.
You're out the week of the 21st.
Your Honor, my request for the waiving the 5 days is actually to allow parking ample time to get the ducks in order to address either through the city attorney or actually to the court. As you can see, I actually have been, except for tickets and citations that I have not received, I actually been doing my due diligence, keeping track of it. Unfortunately, obviously, I've only received a small portion of it. But I did receive my wake-up call today.
Let me just see if I can, I'm not sure if I can open my email from this computer. No, it doesn't seem to want to open for some reason.
Do you need to see, I think I can link into it.
I can go back.
He's definitely going above and beyond on this one. Matter of fact, I'll put a poll in there and see how y'all feel about it.
I'm looking at Mr. Reynolds. I'm just tentatively looking at the week of the 21st. Yes, I'm from the 22nd to the 24th. I'm in a training session during the day, but I could do something late afternoon.
I'm looking at the court calendar too, Your Honor. The morning of the 21st might make some sense.
We have a hearing at 8:30 and then 3 hearing dispose at 9:30 or 9:30, and then we've got jail. However, how about that afternoon? That's what I was looking at, is the afternoon of the
21st. I mean, my schedule is flexible because I can delegate things, but that would work. And I do believe parking services will make themselves available.
Just double check anything the afternoon of the 21st.
I don't see anything
I have
beyond.
that NCSJ. See, that's not, I can miss that if I have to. Let's schedule this for 1 o'clock on Monday, the 21st.
October 21st. Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and put that in, create a slot for it.
All right. And then what I'm going to do, Greg, is I'm going to go into each one of these license plates and put a do not tow. There may be vehicles out there that aren't here that have received kind of that 72-hour notice. So, Mr. Reynolds, I will send an email to Mr. Pell, to Joe Pelly, or to Leo Pelly, and I'll CC you on it as well, indicating that it's the court's desire that they not tow any of the vehicles that are licensed to Mr. Lau between now and the 21st. Does that sound legitimate to you? I know there may be some vehicles that have 72-hour notices on them that aren't subject to this proceeding that I've got going here. But I think in fairness to the defendant, we would want to give him at least that 10-day period to not be towed and not have more complications that we can't address.
Now, let me ask a question. Why do you not like the judge being nice to him? Because judges are normally not nice. Wouldn't you want a nice judge if you had a bunch of pocket tickets? Wouldn't you want him to let you go?
And you said 1 p.m.
1 p.m. Then I'll put a detailed email together to explain what conversations we've had here and what he's done so far.
It makes sense, Your Honor. I'm just, sometimes it's, I don't know what the status is of the other vehicles. You know, maybe they're getting towed like right now. That could be happening. So it could cause some confusion on parking services part if they've taken steps to get them, you know, kind of like ready to be towed. So I would be, I don't feel like I can tell the court that I'm in agreement with telling parking services they can't tow other vehicles.
I'm going to make the request by the court. Let's do it this way. I'll make it as a request from the court that they hold off, and then it'll go out today. And then if they've got an objection to that, they can notify. I'll ask them to notify you, and then you could file something with the court. We don't have a full court place for you to file it, but you could print out a written motion that just listed the vehicle number, and I'll include that in here and Mr. Lau's name. And if there was an objection from parking services, something of that nature, they could express that to you, and then you could file something early next week. So I will make it I'll put a do not tow in the cases that are pending, and then I will send an email to Mr. Pelly saying, please hold off on towing if you're able to do so. If the vehicle's already been towed today, it's towed. There's nothing I can do about that until Monday comes. But if in the hope that they haven't towed anything yet, anything that's subject to a tow order from us, that would be something that because you failed to pay fees, we have to approve. And I would know about that because that goes into our system. But if they have just said a vehicle hasn't moved for 72 hours and we've initially put it here and we have the right to tow it, you can contest any one of those tows and say they weren't legitimate to tow, but they could be towed between now and any time. I'm going to ask that he not do that because otherwise I think it overly complicates the legal issues that we have to address.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, and I would just request, because they might be, whenever a judge communicates something, they might not understand the difference between a request and an order.
I will make it clear that it's simply my request.
That it's not like a legal mandate, or that
That's
they're not
fair.
going to get into trouble if they have their legitimate reasons to take some sort of action. I do think that including the idea that that there's this issue of the city manager permit issue does kind of complicate things. But I'm going to do my own communication with parking services about letting them know that we're having this hearing on at 1 p.m. on the 21st, and hopefully it can be as holistic as possible.
I appreciate that, Mr. Reynolds, and I appreciate you on a Friday afternoon kind of hanging with us and working through this issue. It's pretty unique, but we'll get it taken care of that way.
Your Honor, I created a full court case for it. It's on your screen. It's 5472.
Great.
So there'll be a case created specifically for this. It is titled as a parking ticket, but do you want me to do it as a vehicle impound? Just
Yes.
subtype.
Yeah, subtype vehicle impound. So it's basically a request for hearing. Okay. So we're going to have you fill that form out, pay the $100. I'm going to put a note in here to go ahead and for our staff to give you a release of impound letter that you're going to take up to Marv's. And so that Marv's can release your vehicle, right? You're going to have to pay them whatever you owe them. That's not something I have any control over. So hopefully I've made that clear.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And Marv's isn't like me. They don't negotiate. So whatever they tell you, you're going to have to come up with that to get it out. There won't be anything anybody can do legally about that. You may at some point get it reimbursed. I don't know how likely that is, but if you're successful in your in your argument that your vehicle shouldn't have been impounded, then I can issue an order requiring that parking services reimburse you. I don't know that will occur or not. I haven't heard all the evidence. I haven't heard from parking services. They may believe that they had the absolute right to impound your vehicle, and that was authorized by the court. And so there's a very good chance you're not getting that money back. So I want to make sure you understand that.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand that. And of course, while I would not like to see that being the eventual outcome, I believe that I still have additional rights and avenues that I can pursue, which may not be the Boulder Municipal Court. It may be the State of Colorado District Court and so forth.
Okay.
But yes, Your Honor, thank you.
You're welcome.
It helps me understand much better. And once again, I apologize for not only trying to read up on all the things that I've been told and so forth, and then at least try my best to follow the procedures and apply for the city manager's permit and have parking supervisor, the lady, confirm that she has informed the staff about the time extension because of the continuance and so forth. So thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, so I'm going to leave it to Greg to work out the rest as far as getting the hearing set, and I'll put some notes in. I'm going to stay right here and put in notes in our system.
Have you finished that request form?
No,
Okay, you're welcome to have a seat here, Mark.
no, it's okay. I can,
Okay, and then I have,
most of the time, I'm standing right.
All right, Mr. Reynolds, you are free to go. Thank you very much, and I'll make sure you're CC'd on any emails that I send out.
Thank you. Until we meet.
Thank you.
More
Thank you, Your Honor.
clarification.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Lau. Thanks for following up. Thank you, Greg. All right.
Thanks, sir.
Have a good weekend. Have a
Take care.
good weekend, everyone.
Thank you.
We'll leave the meeting. Greg, I'm so sorry because I know this is you're trying to get so much done. This is
Are you ending the meeting? You can stay off the record.
Yep. We can go off the record.
Okay.
Okay, we are officially off the record. So yeah, I'll get the next one together. Not now, because I had to get it together, get rid of the dead space and all of that. But yeah, we'll do it again. Maybe Sunday night. If anybody's doing anything, we hang out Sunday night, maybe. So I know it was a little earlier tonight. I wanted to get it out there because I got a couple things I wanted to do. And I know some people were waiting on this one. So I was like, all right, let's just do it. Oh, hold on a second. Ooh. Excuse me. Yeah, I wanted to get it out there and actually run it a little bit earlier because I know some people said they appreciate that I do it around this time, but this is not a normal time for me. You know, I'm normally an hour. I'm normally starting now or within the next couple of hours. So it was only because I had some things I had to take care of this evening. But I wanted to spend some time with y'all first and get this going because this is going to be going for a little while, Mr. Lau. And we still got Mars to go through. So I hope everybody enjoyed it. Hope you did. And could y'all please hit those likes for me before you or when on your way out. And I will see you around on the next one. Yes, I had a good time. Excuse me. I had a really good time tonight, as usual. But look, we just did 2 other days of like 2 hours and 40 minutes. So this one actually feels like a breeze because we only on what about a little over an hour. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, just check out. I put out 2 other videos earlier today. You're going to go back and check those out. One of them was a follow-up, and one was traffic pro se guy that I put up this morning. So if y'all want to go back and watch those and make comments, even though I may be doing some stuff, most of you know me, I always put stuff in the comments with you guys. So I'm sure some of them I may miss, but some of them I don't. So, all right. Thanks for coming once again, and I will see you soon. Have a good night or good morning, depending on where you are.